Apopka is a sprawling suburb in the northwest of Orange County. During housing crisis, this area took a pretty big hit, but in the recent years, it has been discovered by the builders and there's a lot of construction going on in the area. The builders are offering everything from townhomes to single-family and even multi-generational homes, which part of this property you can be used as an in-law suite or even be rented out as a part of house hacking strategy. Another great feature about this area that some of the communities offer pretty big piece of land, up to 1/3 of acre, which is very rare find in Orange County nowadays. The area is pretty big for outdoor enthusiasts because there are dedicated bike trails for non-motorized vehicles. There are springs in very close vicinities such as Vikaiva Springs and Rock Springs, where you can hike, you can kayak, or even manatees come in the winter so you can see them. There's a lot of wildlife. The schools are bringing new programs such as IB programs, and overall I have the feeling that this area has not reached this golden age yet, so it has a lot of upside potential. So now let's look deeper into the housing prices, where they are now and where they are going, and you can see what you can get for your dollar. Let's go. In case if you forgot who we are, my name is Natalia Mann and I'm the mortgage broker in Central Florida. My company is called iMortgage for You. And I'm accompanied today by Jessica Eckhart. Jessica, hi.
Hello, hey everyone.
Jessica is the residential appraiser with Accredited Appraisals. And Jessica, let me ask you, what are you thinking about the prices in Apopka? What are you seeing right now as of today?
Yes, so what I'm seeing is a more disciplined market. The mistake people make in looking at list prices and assuming that's the market, but list prices are just what sellers hope for. The real story is in what's actually closing. So I have a few slides that I can share. So right now, the median list price for active single-family homes is $449, but homes are closing at a median of $390. Now, this gap exists because homes aren't the same, right? The median active home is over 2,000 square feet, while the homes that are actually closing are closer to 1,800 square feet. So this isn't a gap or a fall in from where it started. It's different segments of the market moving through the pipeline at different speeds. So what is active is larger and what's actually closing is actually a little bit smaller.
So I understand that there's a push for affordability also. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
And do you see any like heat areas in Apopka area that are like in more demand or less demand?
Basically, the heat that we're talking about is in two places, volume and velocity. So for volume is the Kelly Park corridor, and this one is the leader, especially at Crossroads at Kelly Park. Which has a massive concentration of pending contracts. But for the velocity part of it, that's how fast homes are absorbed. Look at the Bronson subdivision, subdivisions like Bronson's Ridge. We've seen homes go under contract in as little as 5 to 10 days, significantly faster than the median that's happening in Apopka. Here in the bottom left of the screen, you've got Bear Lake and Apopka Town Center. This is more resale driven. So these are more entry-level price, more of that affordability, much less direct builder competition. And then over on the right side, you've got your luxury pockets. And that's a different market entirely because those are larger lots. They're estate style homes and less influence from those builder incentives.
So that one is more exquisite area that doesn't have much of the cookie cutters, and it's probably harder to appraise those homes, right?
Yes, yeah, those are not cookie cutters. Those are custom homes, and they're mainly in that 32712 zip code.
Okay. And what have you seen shifted in Apopka market in the last 30 to 60 days?
This is really the affordability race, as you see on the screen. Single-family homes are the largest segment with a median close price of $390. and they're staying on market around 42 days. Townhomes are the speed king right now. So they're closing at a median of 334,000 in just 26 days. And then you've got condos. It's a much smaller part of this market, really not a huge percentage of the market, but they still remain the entry point for a variety of reasons. But that median close price is at 179 and takes about 36 days to sell.
Yeah, in my observation, there are not that many condominiums in Apopka.
Yeah, and condominiums is for people who don't, who aren't in real estate every single day, condos is an ownership type. It doesn't mean an apartment. It just like you could have a townhome, you could have a single family home, and that could still be considered a condo. So when you're looking, or even agents are looking in the MLS and you're selecting condo, it's not necessarily a multi-story building, it's an ownership type.
Right. Yeah. And I think townhome style of property, whether it's a condo or townhome, it's kind of a most convenient hybrid right now between having your piece of land, but then having lower bills on maintenance versus maintaining your own home, and then just generally maybe lower bills on your utilities and things like that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a rub, because condos come with higher HOA sometimes, and of course we won't get into the whole like, is it insurable situation, but yeah, condos are kind of where they're at.
All right. So now that we are entering into the purchasing season, because as we know, real estate is cyclical, and with the exception of last couple of years when market was trying to figure out itself, normally we see the cycles of spring is a buying season because people are preparing to send their kids to school, and they need to close sometime in May or June to be able to register for school where they want to send their kids, right? So, what are you expecting in the market from the point of prices and then dynamics?
So March is going to be the battle of incentives because new construction in Apopka now makes up about 1/3 of our active single family inventory. This is just in the last 30 days. It's 1/3. And about half of those new builds sit between the 400,000 and 500,000 mark. So this creates like this invisible ceiling for resale sellers in that same price band. If you are a resale seller, you're selling your home that is not new construction, you are competing with builders offering brand new finishes, warranties, closing cost incentives, rate buy downs, and all of that stuff. So this is really a struggle for the resale market because new construction is kind of it's a lot of the active inventory.
Okay, but let's say the purchase price of the home falls outside this price range of 400 to 500.
You really need to focus on because this new construction is in this pocket. If you're under that, and if you're under that, great, because that's affordability. You're not competing so directly with new construction, which is nice. However, you still kind of are in the sense of those incentives and reductions because it comes down to what's net to the seller, right? The other piece that people are misunderstanding, I think, in reselling their home and the expectations is the condition of your home. So you really need to make sure that you're sprucing up, the look and the appeal of the home, but you may not have to, in order to get a deal across the table, in order to get your home sold, you just have to price it right. You don't have to necessarily do all the fixing and, replace the kitchen to sell it. You just need to get it on the market because affordability is the driving piece here, and so are concessions. So if you're willing to negotiate and you're willing to do a couple things just to spruce up the place, nothing huge out of pocket, you're going to move. You're going to, move that house.
I think the biggest mistake the sellers can do right now is try to improve at a big cost to the seller themselves. And because it will push the listing into the price that seller wants to recoup those costs. But every buyer that will come in and they will say, I might as well go to the new construction if I have to pay the price. You're sitting in the market for a long time because it's going to push monthly payment out of the affordability range. So what are your best tips for buyers, for sellers in this current market? What would be the best winning strategies for them?
I mean, I think buyers already know what their power is. It's negotiation power. The housing supply has grown to almost just under 3 months in Apopka, just in the in the last 60 days. So negotiating power, and you do have a lot of options. So it really depends on what your goals are and what your budget is. For sellers, you really need to chill. You must follow this 60-day rule. You've got, if you're not under contract in 2 months, you are likely priced above what the market's going to tolerate. And you need to be open for the conversation, for that strategic conversation with your listing agent on how to handle negotiations, what to incentivize a buyer with, that is still going to get you the most money you can for your property, because you don't want to leave any money on the table, but you want to be able to negotiate in a way that's going to get the sale done.
And in the end, always, I will not be tired to continue repeating this. The most important is not the sale price of home, but what you're getting in the net in the end of the year after your taxes are paid and everything else is accounted for.
Yes. Yeah.
This is something people forget sometimes to keep in mind. And as far as market, I see you saying it is not a crash.
No, this is, I mean, yeah, I think this is all over, not just in Apopka, but all over. We're not, and there are many varying opinions out there. Some people saying like there's just a lot of activity and everything's going great. And then other people are saying it's doomsday and everything's going to come crashing down. And it's not. We are still in a correction. And honestly, I think this correction is going to last through 2026. And we're not really going to see real affordability in movement to affordability until 2027. That's what I think. I could be wrong. I really could be wrong, but I just, it's not a crash, but we need to correct some things. And this is just the market moves slowly. And this is just what we need to experience right now.
Yeah, guys, we're not hyping here. We are not trying to scare you into something. The idea of these episodes and this information we're putting out there, just so you have actual info, boots on the ground that you can trust, because we are right here. We go into Publix, our kids go to the schools, and we're seeing it with our own eyes as we drive. So this is something just to calm your nerves and let you chill and make the right decisions using information that's correct. Now, Jessica, what are your recommendations for real estate agents? Because these guys are the moving power of the market, and we want to make sure that they know how to work with their client and they advise them in an informed way.
Yes, agents, they have to be experts. They have to be everything to everyone. They know this. No. But they do need to be experts on the net effective cost to the buyer. You can't price a resale home as if the new construction doesn't exist. They need to tap into the resources that are around them if they're unsure about where the market is for their subject property, for the property they're trying to list, then they need to reach out to the professionals that they know and trust and help them create, a good strategy to sell. Definitely a concession focused strategy. I think resale listings have to include a plan of either rate buy downs or closing costs. I think already agents do such a good job, and they want to do such a good job with their sellers in advising them on the strategy on how to get this home sold. And as well as agents know, a lot of sellers, kind of get in their own way a little bit. But I think agents, as long as they focus on setting that right pricing strategy, I think they're going to have good success.
So next, we would like to show you one house in Apopka so you guys can see what kind of property you can get for your dollar. And the property we're going today is from Hartizen Homes, which is a local builder, family owned. They're known for high quality of their finishes. And the model is called Everly. In the end, I will talk about the price and I will break down the payment for you. Are you ready? Let's go. So Jessica, let's make a big announcement. What are we doing next month? What area we are concentrating on?
Next month, we are going to focus on Winter Garden.
Why we chose it? Because Winter Garden is right next door to Apopka. Many people, like if you're not in the industry of real estate, you might not even see the difference. Kind of, it's all blended together. But in reality, Winter Garden is a totally different vibe, different price point, different lifestyle. So that's why we would love to compare these two areas. And we're going from Apopka to Winter Garden next month. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been a pleasure to have you, Jessica. See you next time in a month.
In a month. See you.